Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around with us right here on the Sister Show platform. And hopefully you continue to share this video as you watch it if you're just joining us. And of course, you guys know the conversation of the day today is why do women stay in unhealthy marriages? So we're going to have that conversation right here at this second. But first, let's welcome our beautiful sister, Nancy, all the way from Nigeria. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, everyone.
We love your hair. You look so gorgeous.
Thank you. You guys all look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Nancy, can you introduce yourself to the audience before we start this great conversation that we have for them today?
Okay. All right. My name is Nancy Ovia. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a fab mom of 3, 2 boys and a girl, happily married. And I'm living a life. I'm a lifestyle declutter pundit as well. I help people organize their home, declutter their home, and help them make money from their clutter. So it's that simple.
I love that. And she said, I'm a fab mom. I love that. So let's have this conversation. Why a lot of our sisters and a lot of women, I mean, and we're not judging, but this is reality. Of course, if you know the Sister Show, we always bring burning topics that we discuss. So nothing is off limits, really. And this is one thing that we feel like we should talk about. The main question is, why do you all think that a lot of women, us, we stay in marriages or relationships for a long time? Even if it's not marriage, sometimes you can be dating someone for a long time and be unhappy and still stay in the relationship. Why do you all think that is?
I think as a Gambian society, what my observations are, clearly I've never been married, but I do observe these things a lot. And I think one of them is people are scared to have a divorce. And the main reason behind being scared to have a divorce is putting a shame to your family. That's how they view it, okay? Oh, you can't have a divorce. You can't leave because you're going to put the family at shame. People are going to talk about you. And for that reason, people will choose to stay in unhappy and unhealthy marriages just to kind of secure the name of the family.
Yeah. And I growing up, I remember too, before you guys come in, I'm not going to mention, but I remember having a family member that was clearly not happy in the relationship, and everybody knew that she shouldn't have stayed. But it was almost like every time she leaves, the family take her back and say, make it work, figure it out. Like, you know, you should be married. Da, 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 da. So it's almost like you don't have the freedom. Once you get in, you're locked. You're not free. Like you're a slave to the marriage.
Like the whole of your family, I don't know about the guy's side, but I know for sure the whole family on your side, including especially your mom, is who actually is almost like trying to like stay. You can't leave. Say marriage is not easy. Marriage comes with pain, but I don't think with that much pain. Like
there's this fear when it comes to like being a divorcee. First of all, financially, what the society would say, and what the church too would say, and what your families would say. You are just scared of the unknown. There are so many things you're scared about. How are you going to train the kid that if as a woman you're not financially stable? And of which most African women are not financially stable. They all hold on to their husband or whoever is the breadwinner. It's now that there's so much women empowerment, that so many women are beginning to stand up to their responsibilities and even the responsibilities of some men, that I would say. But we're just, I wouldn't say way out because I'm still married. I would say most women are really, there's this fear. You don't even know what's out there. You don't even know what you're going to be. We're thinking about ourselves, what's going to happen out there. So there's this selfish fear in them, in we women, that makes us, okay, fine, I think I'd rather stay here and just like endure all the whole toxicity, all the whole whatever it is I'm going through now.
From the look of things as well, I think there are a lot of rural women especially, who are like financial heads of their families. These are the people who go to the farms, and they're the ones mostly going to the markets and securing all the finances to take the kids to school, and most times helping the husband to make ends meet. Taking into consideration those women out there, especially the rural women that are going through a lot in their house, and they, in fact, the financial leaders in those households, but the whole fear surrounding what society says and family says and how they look at you as a divorcee and whether another man will take you on are all things that come into play.
I was married before and I'm divorced. So speaking from experiences, even my own family, my own parents, not my siblings, obviously you guys are exposed, but my mom had that same fear that oh my God, what would happen to your kids? What are people going to say about you? What are people going to say about, to the point where I had to like divorce my mom for a while and not talk to her. I remember one time I called her talking to her and she's like, oh, if you are divorced, don't even talk to me, blah, blah, blah.
And you know, African moms, right? Sometimes, honestly, they're too dramatic. Like our parents can be very, very dramatic. They'll say, you know, like I'm gonna translate. What they're trying to say is, we're not gonna talk for the rest of the rest of my life. You can stay there, and you're gonna be cursed. And sometimes I feel like our parents, they feel like they give us, yes, they give us life, but sometimes they treat it like when we do what they don't want us to do, we will be cursed for life. I mean, like,
Yes.
like it's like they are God.
Exactly.
Okay, let me.
I mean, Juka, you'll be surprised that African dads will do the same thing as well. My granddad will do that. He has done it to my aunt. Why he's like, when you leave, I am leaving so and so mother. You know what I mean? So it's more like a cultural thing that you have to die there than just go out of the relationship and nobody knows what happens next year.
It's
crazy. That's very true. It just seems like yesterday. I remember when my mom said that and I was like, you know what, that's fine. I'm in the US, I'm taking care of myself. I am the only one that knows what I'm going through. And I'm not going to sit here and let other people dictate how my life ends, because at the end of the day, these women or our parents are going to die and leave me here miserable. And then I'm not sure if this is really healthy for my kids, for them to witness something that is miserable. And I remember I did not talk to my mom for months and months. And she called Ole and she said, you know, that girl is crazy. She would not even talk to me. She wouldn't answer my calls. When she calls, I just decline the calls. And then Ole called me and said, why are you doing this? Blah. I said, just tell your mom to chill out, because this is my life. I know what I'm going through, and I should decide what happens in my life. And my kids and everything else. Yes, fine. If it means I never get married again, but at least I'll have a healthy life, and I'll have my kids live a healthy life.
Our culture, like, it's not the same as in the West. When you get in a divorce, like, they understand that
child support.
There's a lot of resistance because of the culture, right? There's a lot of resistance, and some women, they are even abused, and the families know about it, and they still want them to stay. Like, I just don't get it.
I think the problem is sometimes we also that are going through what we're going through, we try to play the sutura card, right? A lot. The sutura meaning we try to kind of not say all that's happening to us in the marriage, because, you know, we want to just cover up for the guy also. We would just want to say, hey, we just want to leave. I'm just not happy. This is not what I want. But not really deep into it, because you're trying to just cover up for the guy. So most of the women who are going through physical abuse will probably not want to say that, you know, because then that opens up a whole nother wound, right? So you try to say some, but not say all.
Most times the way the whole society sees the divorcee, it's more like kind of like, she must have done something wrong, she must have cheated on her husband. So most times they don't really see what the man did wrong. So they only see the woman. So that whole fear of, oh my God, how would I even say? And most times we women, we overhype things going on in our marriage and everything. So when the whole marriage is going down the drain, you don't even know how to start saying most times you must have lied in some parts. So how do you want to start coming out to say, okay, those things you actually said were true, were actually lies? So how do you want to start? How do you want to even go into the society again after with the whole celebration, the whole party and everything? So in Nigeria, it's really, really hard for divorced women. Like I have someone who just got divorced now, and it's not been easy for her at all. She doesn't even know how to like remove the name from her own name, because her husband's name, because people would ask questions.
Oh,
she
wow.
can't even on social media, she's even scared to delete his pictures because people would ask questions. But on this guy's part, he has deleted everything from social media. He has moved on practically. He's even seen someone else. He's even in a serious relationship. But she can't move on because she's still scared.
He's able to move on. And for her, the whole burden is on her. Like when the marriage fails, she fails.
Exactly.
Not the husband, and both of them fail, but just her failed. Like that's crazy how we think.
This whole mun thing is why a lot of people are miserable in their marriages. And then it comes down to how society will look at you then, because at the end of the day, they make it look like it's your fault. So there are a lot of miserable situations that women are in, that men are actually the cause, but women can't live because then society makes it look like it has always been your fault.
And you said mun. Mun in English is patient.
Patience.
So,
yes.
so patient for what? When you patient means you're waiting for something, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Well,
You're waiting for
you're waiting for
they want
something.
you-
So what are you being patient for? Like, what are you waiting for to happen? What are you waiting
So
for?
usually when they tell you to mun or to have patience, they what they say is, oh, if you have patience, he's going to eventually change. Things will be different, things will be better. But they don't understand if someone has an anger problem, and most men that are in that situation where they're abusive, I think they probably don't want to be abusive, but they have an anger problem and they need to go for counseling and get anger management classes so they can know how to deal with their situations. But instead, like Amy was saying earlier, people think we're trying to hide or we're trying to cover up. No, most of the time the woman feel ashamed to actually go out and say that I was abused, because people will look at you as, what did you do wrong? Why would you?
Exactly.
This is someone that loved you.
Yeah.
So they're not looking at you as a victim or you deserve to be punished because you did not behave. So it almost becomes like you are enslaved
Your problem.
or enslaved to marriages. And that's sad.
I think for me, the part of marriage that I just don't agree with and I just don't accept in our cultures is everyone wants to tell you this. Oh, but you know, marriage is not easy. I hope you understand. But why isn't marriage easy? Why does marriage have to be difficult? Why is marriage supposed to be hard? Why do I have to be patient? Why? My question is why. None of you have given me any answers that is.
Sometimes they say for the kids.
I'm not going to be patient for someone who mentally, emotionally abuses me, and I'm just thinking, oh, it might just change the following day. It's not going to change. If you have addressed the situation and it has not changed, it's not going to change. If you're in a marriage like that, just leave, pack your stuff. I'm sorry.
And you know what? I'm going to say this last thing before we let you guys go here. And then when we come back on the other side of the show, we'll bring these solutions and other parts that we haven't touched on right here, right? I just wanted to say quickly. And also there's this notion that if you stay in a bad marriage, your kids will be blessed. I mean, the way we think is crazy. Like, I don't know where we get our rationales from. Sometimes it's the African culture. It's like, oh, so talking you know, like,
dumb. It's the dumbest thing ever. We live in the West. I live in the West. Some of the most successful people in the world are from the West, okay? But none of them was told to be patient in an abusive relationship. None of them was told to be patient in an emotionally abusive, unhealthy and unhappy relationship. And they have the wealthiest of kids. They have the most blessed kids. I'm sorry to say so. I'm not looking down on us, but sometimes the notion that you have to suffer to be blessed is dumb.
I don't think that adds up at all. That there's no blessing, there's no cost whatsoever. At the end of the day, a woman growing up at the point in your life, you're just going to choose your own path. So I don't think the family upbringing has got. Even if you have the best upbringing, you still take a different path at the end of the day. So I don't think that really holds water. Whether you're from a broken home or from a well-equipped home with all morals and everything, nothing holds water. You just have to choose your own path and follow up. So that's it.
Yep. And on that note, we will choose our own path right here, and we will drop this conversation right here. We will do the sister chat, which is always fun. And when we come back towards the end of the hour, we'll bring you the other part of this conversation, which is the solutions and more on why women stay unhealthy relationships or marriages for that matter. So don't go anywhere, stick around, we'll be right back. And hopefully you're also commenting below and giving your viewpoints, because as we always say, it's not always what we say, but all of us as a community. So stick around, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.